MLB fans and players have been on the fence for years about whether or not Manny Machado is a dirty player. Fans of the Red Sox, Brewers, and Dodgers would all say that he is. But is it hard for the rest of us to picture a $300 million flair player as dirty? What would his rival, Chase Utley, say? Sure, he is a dirty player. And Cobb, some guy from the middle of nowhere in Georgia, would probably say the same thing. In today's video, we'll walk you through why a lot of people are clamoring for the Dirty Player of the Year tag on Manny Machado's baseball jersey. The Twitter trolls in the latter part of the video are just plain fatal. Machado was born and grew up in the Florida city of Miami. His mother, Rosa Machado, his grandpa, Francisco Nunez, and his uncle, Giovanni Brito, took care of him when he was young. He comes from Dominica. Machado and Albert Almora, who used to play center for the Cincinnati Reds, both grew up in Hialeah. Though they are not related by blood, they think of each other as cousins. Machado went to Brito Miami Private School in Miami and decided to go to Florida International University. He claimed that the Miami Marlins were his favorite team growing up. He was picked by the Baltimore Orioles with the third pick in the 2010 MLB draft. He came in as the second high school player and second position player to be picked. Just minutes before it was due, Machado signed a $5.25 million deal on August 16, 2010. On August 27, 2010, Machado made his professional debut with the Gulf Coast League Orioles. He made an impressive debut by going 0 for 3 with a strikeout, and since then, his career has been full of highs and lows. And probably his low moment is what has made people label him the dirtiest player in recent baseball history. But to understand why he goes with this tag, let's take a look at what Machado has done in the past. In 2014, when Machado was going to third base, he was tagged out by Josh Donaldson, which he felt was a little rough. This caused the bench to clear, but it wasn't fixed right away. The next day on his backswing, Machado retaliated by hitting A's catcher Derek Norris with his bat. But the opposition was not having any of it, as when Machado was to bat again later in the game, Athletics pitcher Fernando threw behind him, and as you expected, Machado was not happy with it. The next pitch went inside, and he seemed to think of something quickly. He threw his bat to third base, but the third baseman wasn't supposed to get the bat, because the pitcher was going to throw it right back at him. After this happened, both Machado and Abad were kicked off the team. Machado then apologized to his friends and members of the A's. The league suspended him for 5 games and fined the team. When 2015 came around, Manny Machado was great. He played in all 162 games, hit .286 with an .861 OPS, was an All-Star, won a Gold Glove, and finished 4th in the MVP voting. He was arguably even better in 2016, hitting .294 with an .876 OPS, hitting 37 home runs and driving in 96, getting picked for the All-Star game again, and finishing 5th in the MVP voting. Which brings us to Machado's arguably biggest benches clearing incident. Yardana Ventura, who played for the Kansas City Royals, was also known to be an exciting player. But his game against Machado might have been up there for one of his ugliest moments. After Manny had received 2 inside pitches from Ventura, Manny knew it was not a game he would like. So, after striking out to end the at-bat, Machado had some words for Ventura. As he walked back to the bench, he stared at him and yelled, and things only went downhill from there. In the 5th inning, Manny Machado ran to the mound after getting hit by a 99-mile-per-hour fastball to fight Ventura. Both players were kicked off the game, and Manny got a 4-game suspension. But perhaps 2017 could be labeled as Machado's most difficult year. At Camden Yards, where the Orioles played the Red Sox, Mark Trumbo hit a grounder to short on his way to second. After Xander Bogart threw to second, Machado fell into the dust along with Pedroia, hurting himself and putting Pedroia out of the game. After that, nothing important happened, and Machado said that he didn't mean to hurt Pedroia when he slid into him. He said he talked to Pedroia after the game and that they were cool. Whether or not the Red Sox believed him did not help them forget. In fact, a few days later, Eduardo Rodriguez was seen throwing inside Manny's kneecaps 3 times in a row, though he missed his target. Later in the game, Red Sox relief pitcher Matt Barnes took things into his own hands when he threw near Machado's head, but also missed and hit Machado in the back. While Manny did not charge the field or make a big scene, he was clearly angry. He told Pedroia it wasn't okay to throw at his head, and Pedroia replied, "It's not me, it's them." In fact, just because of that reply, some Red Sox fans started to hate Pedroia, feeling that he had taken sides with Machado while betraying his friends. Jared Carabas of Barstool Sports says that Nahoya wasn't talking about his friends. Instead, he was talking about manager John Farrell and the rest of the Red Sox coaching staff, who all lost their jobs that summer. But it looked like the Red Sox weren't nearly done. In the next game at Fenway Park, Chris Sale chose to throw the first pitch at their next game and took aim at Machado's knee with the ball missing only slightly. Both dugouts were given a warning, and while nothing else happened in the game, many people had something to say about the Red Sox. After the game was over, I threw that all over my head. I've lost my sense of order and respect. Hit me. For that teaching staff and everyone over there. Hit me, go ahead. No, don't keep thinking about this and, try to hit people. We should do something about the bowlers who are trying to hit people with balls thrown at 100 miles per hour. I also got a bat. I could go up there and beat someone up if I wanted to. But you know what? I'll get suspended for the whole year, while the pitchers only get suspended for 2 games. That's not cool. That's not. The Orioles had one of their worst seasons ever in 2018, but it wasn't because of Manny Machado. Before Manny was traded to the Dodgers, he hit .315 with .963 OPS in 96 games. After the trade, he hit .273 with .825 OPS. Christian Yelich, the 2018 National League Most Valuable Player, saw that Machado had something to say to him after a game. You're just a bad player. A dirty player made a dirty move. People respect him as a player, but you can't respect someone who plays the game in that way. Many people are definitely of the same opinion as Christian Yelich, as we see in some replies. No amount of frosting will make that garbage cake look good. You could say that Machado was trying to get out of the way of the throw to first, but the closer view shows that he wasn't. From here you can see Machado sizing up Edman, seeing that he is off balance and going for Edman's legs. Then he pops up right away with his hands out and apologizes for the Twitter meltdown he's about to cause. Guys who aren't bad wouldn't do that. Believe us, we follow football, one fan said. Another fan followed, I'm not sure what Manny Machado was trying to do here, but if a Dodgers player did this, the whole city of San Diego would be on their way to Los Angeles with pitchforks, said a baseball fan. All of this happened after Machado left a leg in on Jesus Aguilar during a normal play at first during the 2019 NLCS. That got everyone off the benches, and almost the whole Brewers team called Machado the D-word after the game. In March of the same year, baseball players named him the dirtiest player in a poll. In 2020, Machado was kicked off of the field by the Texas Rangers, and his old Dodger teammates were not letting it go as they yelled at him from the field. When we look at what happened with the Dodgers, we see that Machado threw his bat after hitting a home run off of Clayton Kershaw in Game 2. Later in the game, Cody Bellinger's game-saving home run grab saved Dodgers pitcher Brusdar Graterol's game. As Graterol walked off the field, he did his usual celebration, which Manny was not too pleased with. Without any hesitation, Machado was heard yelling at him, but Graterol continued by kissing the air. Max Muncy and Mookie Betts, who were just walking off the pitch, yelled back at Manny as they left. How did Machado's play history look in the year 2021? Well, this didn't really lead to anything except a few ejections. In 2021, Machado didn't have much trouble, at least until September, when he got into a heated fight with Fernando Tatis Jr. in the field. The Padres had a very bad season, and Machado was just telling his friends not to show up to the official after an iffy call. The two made up and talked to the public about how great each other was. Manny seems to be calming down as he gets older, and Tatis in San Diego sees him as a role model. No matter how talented Manny is or how much he's grown up, you can't take away what he's done or what he might do in the future. That future isn't too far away either, because after smashing finishes in 2022 and winning an 11-year, $350 million contract extension with the Padres in 2023, Machado became the first MLB player to be thrown out for arguing a pitch clock violation. This comes after being given a first strike earlier in the year for not being ready to play.